Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this was requested. I actually can't remember the username. Shocker. But shout out to you. Let yourself known in the comments if you requested this, right? It's actually a reading I haven't really seen anyone do. So thank you so much for helping me out, because sometimes I do run out of ideas. I am going to do, and I did get another requested read. I forgot the title, but I did screenshot it. So I will do that one tomorrow, okay? But for today, we're going to find out what sort of parent will you be, or what sort of parent are you if you already are a parent, okay? I have 6 piles today. To choose pile 1, we have Kindred. May you enjoy heartfelt connections, okay? I know some people complain, sorry, I'm moving this out of the way. I know some people complain that they can't see the cards, but there's some readers who don't even show the cards and you just listen. And quite frankly, I actually like that because I only care about the messages. I don't need to see the cards, okay? But just in case you need to see it, this is pile 1, Kindred, okay? Or maybe some people skip the beginning of my reading, so they just go straight to the piles and it's just like, as long as it resonates, right? Anyways, pile 2, we have change. May you bless the turning of leaves. That's pile 2. Okay. Take a good look at it. Okay. Pile 3, we have wonder. May you see the whole picture. Okay. Pile 4, we have shadow. May what is hidden come to light. Okay. Pile 5, we have dream. May your imagination run free. And then we have the last pile, pile 6, which is embrace. May you accept what comes. Okay, so take a good look at it, and I'm gonna start. Okay. All right. 1 minute and 57 seconds. Pile 1. Okay. What sort of parent are you / will be if you don't have kids? We have Kindred. May you enjoy heartfelt connections. Okay, I'm getting a good vibe with this pile. I really feel like you guys are, especially if you're very spiritual. I mean, you guys are watching tarot readings, but if you're someone who's really in touch with, like, you may believe in past lives, for example. Not everyone has to believe in that, but if you do, I feel like you are either a parent or going to be a parent who this is not your first rodeo with your kids, okay, or your kid, okay, depending on how much you have, like how many you have, whether you have 1 or 2. It's not your first rodeo. If you're a parent even now, you actually have a connection with your child even in a past life. So you guys have that sort of connection. I don't know if you were a parent to them in another lifetime, or if you were siblings, or I don't know what the dynamic was in that lifetime, but you were definitely connected to your children, okay, which is really beautiful, okay? You're going to really understand your children. And if you have children, you really do get them. You're very intuitive. Like, you know when something's wrong, okay? Even if they don't say anything, you can intuitively pick that up. You guys are really soul bounded. This kind of reminds me of the relationship I have with my mother, because I'm so much like her, but like also very different from her. But it's like, she's an overgiver, so she loves to overgive to me. She spoils me, but I also love to overgive to her and spoil her. We're 2 givers, and we feel bad if one of us does something nice for each other. We also feel bad because we have trouble accepting as well. And a lot of the experiences my mother and I have gone through are so similar. So she married my dad, and I was with a guy who is just like my dad as well. It's like that dynamic. My mom has 2 children. I have 2 children. She has 2 girls. I have 2 boys. The age gap between them is like 5 years, and it's like the same. It's like, why do we have such similar experiences? But we're both like very overgiving people, to people we love. And the way she overgives to me, I overgive to her. So it's like that connection. I would not be surprised if you were friends or very close friends with your children in a past life, okay? But yeah, it's a really healthy dynamic that you're gonna have with your kids. Or if you already do have children, it's a healthy dynamic. We have 17, take a breather. 1 is a number of portals and new beginnings, and 7 is a number of learning. Add them together is 8, which is all about abundance. So I feel like you would never stop learning from your children, okay? I feel like you guys give this energy of like you would observe your kids a lot, okay? You just wonder about them. I would not be surprised here, because I catch myself doing this as well, where you just stare at your kids and you're like, You are one interesting little cutie, you know, and you just sit in awe of your kids, like, wow, like you are your own person now. I remember when you were just in nappies, you know. So yeah, but let's get all the cards here. I'm starting too early. We have the Elk and the Ash. Strength, okay, Leo energy. We have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. I'm hearing once we're locked in, ain't no switching up, okay? We have the Empress, okay? Taurus, Libra energy. We have Music has the Answer. And we have Twin Flame. Okay, so what kind of parent... I swear there was meant to be another card, no? Or am I... No? Okay, fair enough. You guys have such a beautiful, or will have such a beautiful relationship with your kids. Like it's very healing, okay? I don't know about your life. I don't know how you grew up, Palwan, but all I know is you are determined to have the most authentic and most beautiful relationship with your children, okay? I feel like it's like there's a fine line between parent and child, but at the same time, your children either now or will, if you don't have children, feel so comfortable in your energy. Like they will tell you things. Like you won't even have to be like, are you hiding this from me? Like they will feel very open with you. I feel like you are a parent or will be a parent who's not prideful. So you're not afraid to admit where you've gone wrong. You're not afraid to apologize to your child. I feel like you'd want to understand your child. Something's giving intellectual, is giving Aquarius energy, is giving Virgo energy. It's not just the Capricorn and the Taurus and the Libra, but it's giving like philosophical, sophisticated. I feel like you guys are very smart people. I feel like your children will be really smart as well. Like you will teach your children so many things and you will have very intelligent children, but also you will learn a lot from your children. So when your children are older, like they will teach you so many things as well, okay? And you'll be open-minded to them. You'll be willing to understand things from their perspective, which is beautiful. We have take a breather. So I feel like you are that parent that you have a perfect balance between being strict, but also knowing when to, ease up on your kid. You're not going to be one of those like tiger parents, okay? You're like, you know what? I want you to be great. You're going to push your children to be great, but you're not afraid to let them say, you know what? If you want to break, if you want to chill, that's also okay too. Like you're not going to overwork your kids, but you're not going to also encourage them to be lazy either. So it's a beautiful balance, okay? I feel like you're going to be this very integral part of their life. I mean, of course, you're their parent, right? But it's like you're going to be their backbone. So when the outside world, because it's scary out there, when the outside world is being horrible to your children, for example, because it's life, right? You're going to be that strong anchor that holds it together. Your children will have such a healthy upbringing because of you that no matter what problems, trials, or tribulations they face outside, they will know how to handle it because of the wisdom you've passed on to them. But they also know they feel safe enough to come to you and tell you about what's going on in their life. They won't feel the need to hide it, okay? You're going to be very firm. Like, I'm not getting that you guys are going to be like, you guys are not going to be doormats or BFFs with your kids, but you're going to have a mutual respectful understanding, but still that level of like, okay, but I'm the parent here, so you still have to listen to me. Like, it's a perfect balance, okay? Your children are going to actually become just like you, so I would not be surprised if like they get older and they repeat that parent style, okay? Yeah, with the Devil card, this is where I heard once we're locked in, ain't no switching up. You guys are going to have such a beautiful, fruitful relationship. I'm also getting that you guys will be, I don't know why I heard Olympics, very random, but maybe you are the type of parent to put your children in different activities, different sports, different clubs, so that they can find what they're talented in. Because I feel like you're the type of parent that you want your children to be good in school, but you also want them to have other extracurriculums, okay? It's a good source of therapy. I do see one of your children wanting to grow up to do something that requires them to not always have to work for someone, like something that requires them to make their talent thrive. So it could be sports related even, but I do see scholarship, academic, something. I'm hearing that. But you guys are going to be very abundant by the time you have children. And if you are a parent but like you're not rich, I do see you guys have enough to take care of your children. Like you'll never have to worry about, oh my god, I don't have enough money for that toy, or I don't have enough money for that. Like you're very stable, okay, very grounded, so much energy flow. Like I feel like the vibration of your household No pressure is going to depend on you, okay? So if you're in high vibration and everything's great, everything else is going to work out great with your kids, okay? I feel like I heard harmony, so I do feel like you'll be a source of harmony to your children, okay? But definitely like this feeling of like you guys, this is not your first life together. You guys have been in each other's lives way back. It's so cute. You're a ride or die for your children. I mean, who isn't, right? Or of course there are some horrible parents in the world, but you're gonna be a ride or die, okay? We have music as the answer, so I would not be surprised if like you're very in tune with your children. You could also be someone who like if you do love music, like I feel like you and your children will share the same music taste. But you guys are just gonna be very unison. Like it's almost like you finish each other's sentences. It feels like you guys are friends, but there's still that respectful boundary, right? But you're gonna really understand your child, like without even. It's like if anyone tries to lie about your children, like you'll know they're lying because you're like, my child's not like that, you know. And not in a way where my child is perfect, but it's like if someone tries to chat nonsense about your kids, it's like you already know what your kids are like your kids don't hide anything from you, okay? I heard autonomy, so your children will be very, very independent. This is now becoming a reading about like how your kids are like, but honestly, your children will be very independent people or grow into independent people, but not because of you guys not doing your job, okay? It's not that you guys are making them independent by neglecting them. Like, no, you are someone who instills them to have like autonomy, but still not afraid to be authentic and open with you about things that they may struggle with, and they may still rely on you because a parent is it's a lifetime job. It's not just I'm a parent until you're 18. Like you're gonna be a parent forever, okay? But we have twin flame here, so this is just highlighting the fact that you guys are gonna really understand each other. You guys are really just gonna get each other like that, okay? But I feel like you're gonna be this person's or these children's strength, okay? Like if someone ever asked your kids, who is your biggest role model, they're gonna say you. No shade to your spouse or your partner, but they're gonna say you. They're gonna be like, because of Pile 1, I am who I am today. I feel like they're gonna really, really, really love you, okay? And you're gonna really love them, okay? I feel like you guys may be a low-key obsessed with your kid because we do have the devil here. So you guys are just like, my kid, my kid, my kid, my kid, okay? But it's like, you have a perfect balance between discipline and praise, okay? You're not gonna be one of those parents that's like, my child can do no wrong. You're going to acknowledge that, yeah, my child may sometimes be wrong. And yeah, they do need to be disciplined. I'm not going to lie. I'm not getting gentle parent. I'm not getting that you guys are like, oh, like, it's like nothing wrong with gentle parenting because it's good, but you're still going to have some elements of tradition, as in like, listen, you can't do this because this is not right. You don't care what everybody else is doing. You don't care what other parents are doing. You're going to do what's best for you regardless. Okay. And don't worry, you're not going to give your children any trauma, okay? You're going to really love your children because they know everything you do comes with love and it comes with pure intentions. You're not going to put too much pressure on your children, but at the same time, you're not going to just sit and watch them fail either. Like you're going to push them to the best they can possibly be, but without making them feel like they're having a breakdown. They're going to feel safe, okay? But you guys are really going to get each other. With this kindred and twin flame, you go together like this. Like you're gonna just know your kid inside and out, and that's beautiful. You are an amazing parent if you already are, and if you're not a parent, you're going to make an amazing one, okay? Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any other messages because I was hearing autonomy, academics, Olympics. Okay, someone in this pile, this is very random, it's not for everyone. Someone in this pile could be South Asian because I heard Chowdhury. And that's a South Asian name. Okay, very random. You guys, especially if you're a woman, you may be the matriarch. I'm not gonna lie. This is not to say you have to be a single mother. Okay, you could be. Just gonna put it out there, but you don't have to be. But I'm getting you're gonna be like a matriarch, as in like you wear more of the pants in your family. So even if you're married and you have your partner, or if you're not married and you have a partner, your kids are going to respect you a little bit more than your partner. Okay, they're going to look up to you more than your partner. Okay, because you command a sense of authority. I am getting like Aquarius vibes. This reminds me of my grandma. My grandma is so different to my mom. My grandma, like, she's married to my grandpa. They've been married for years. They have a long life because they are great grandparents to my kids. And she is a teacher, just like me. And she's so like matriarchal, but at the same time, like, she still respects her husband. She still loves her husband, which is my granddad. But it's like, people see her as like, yeah, you're the authority figure, you know? So I feel like it may be the same with you guys if you're a woman, right? That's what I'm getting. I'm going to move on to the next pile. Okay. Pile 2, 1528. You guys chose change. May you bless the turning of leaves. Okay. So what kind of parent will you be / what parent are you? I feel like you're the type of parent, or you're going to be the type of parent that changes after you have children. So maybe you could have been the type of person that's like, oh, when I have kids, I'm going to do this with them. I'm going to be like this. But then it all changes until you have them, okay? Trust me, it happens to the best of us. I've been that type of person where, like, when I have kids, they're gonna be like this. When I have kids, they're gonna be like this. But I see you changing, even you yourself. And if you're already a parent, I see you could be changing the way you parent. You know, like it may not have been according to how you intended it to be. Okay, but let's see. So we have number 5, turn on the light. And 5 is a number of change. Turn on the light is all about reminding yourself to stay positive and being a beacon of light. Okay. Giving Sagittarius energy. We have the spider and the passion flower, creative ingenuity. According to this deck, the person who created this deck, this is actually talking about solving problems, being creative in coming up with solutions to problems. Okay, when I first heard creative ingenuity, I was like, what does that mean? But then according to the reader, or the person who made these cards, it's basically saying that you're a good problem solver. You're good at coming up with ways to be witty, okay? It's giving Gemini, Virgo, okay? We have fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the 8 of Wands. And then we have air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius with the Ace of Swords. And then we have I'm busy. And then we have I love you. Oh, okay. So what kind of parents are you guys / will be? So I'm getting you guys, and there's going to be so much changes, okay? So many changes. A part of you is like, okay, I'm going to do this. When I'm a parent, it's going to be like this. But then there's something in you that changes and then therefore influences the way you parent, okay? You're going to be very good at solving problems. Like whenever there's a solution, you're like, I got it. There's something about you, and please don't take this the wrong way, something about you maturing. Not to say that you guys are just like childish, but we all grow, we all evolve, right? But you're going to be very, very clued up, more intelligent, when you are a parent. And if you are a parent, like that shift has already happened. Like you're a lot more smarter and more efficient. So maybe like if you're anything like me, for example, yeah, I'm the youngest in my family. I'm the baby. So people just take care of me. I've never had to take care of a child until I had my own and until I became a teacher, right? And everyone perceived me to be childish. Or I mean, I'm a parent. I still am in touch with my inner child. I'm just going to be honest, right? But people perceive me to be someone who can't handle responsibilities or could never, ever be a responsible adult. Like, you have children that rely on you. God help them. You're so childish. I was perceived that way because I'm the youngest. But then when I became a parent, it all switched up. Now everyone's like, whoa. She's really, really good with her responsibilities. Like, she's really like mom on the go, very busy, booked and busy, very logical, very intelligent. And this has come because of parenting. So I feel like you guys are going to experience that same thing. And this is very common. This happens to a lot of parents. Trust me, like parents will not want to tell you what they were like before they had you, okay? But you're going to be someone who's really good at coming up with solutions. Like if you're, for example, your child comes home, they're like, oh my God, I got into this problem with this other kid at school. You're going to find a way to fix it. There's just something very smart about the way your mind works. I'm also getting you guys are going to turn into people who are really good at multitasking. So you'll be cooking here, and then you'll be, okay, I need to go and fix that there. Okay, I need to go and help my kid with their homework here. Like, you're going to be really good at multitasking, okay? But very good at problem solving. You are going to be the biggest cheerleader for your children. Like, I feel like you guys are going to be like that cheery kind of parent. So whenever they're feeling down, you're going to be the type of person that elevates them. You're motivational kind of, you're like a woke parent. Like, not woke in the way that social media uses it. Like, they're basically saying woke people are not actually woke, but you are woke. You are actually how it's meant to be used, the term. Like, you are actually woke. You're going to be a very conscious parent. Very glued up, did I say glued up? Very clued up on things. Very understanding, very open-minded. I heard innovative, ahead of their time. So you could be the type of parent where other parents may feel like the way you do things is different, but it works, And I just feel like you are the type of person where if your children, I'm not going to lie, your children are not going to have low self-esteem. They're not. You're going to instill confidence in them. There's something about affirmations, like you speaking such good things into their heart and their soul that reestablishes their self-esteem. Because that's what I'm getting the vibe from the turn on the light. It's like you know how to switch the energy of the room, the energy of the household. And they love that. You always have an answer for everything. Like, your children will just look at you like, my parent is the smartest parent on earth, because they always know how to fix this. This could even be physical, like with for example, at school they fall over and they rip their blouse. Like, you're like, okay, I got my sewing kit done. Like, you will know how to fix things. Or if they're just like, oh, mom or dad, I look really bad today. I don't like my outfit. I don't like what I'm wearing for prom or whatever it may be. You're like, you know what? Green suits you. This hairstyle, this shoe, this piece of jewelry is gonna go matching well with your body. Like, you just know what to say, even if it's physical or like even mental. If they're like, mom, or dad, I feel kind of depressed about this, I feel sad about this. Like, you know how to restore all of this. Like, you just know the right things to say and do. You're going to be very busy, okay? As a parent, I'm not going to lie. You're going to be a very busy parent. Multitasking, always, like, I'm not going to lie. It may come off more logical as opposed to emotional. And it's not to say that you don't love your children, because we literally have I love you. Your children are going to know you love them. They're going to feel that love. They're going to feel that vibration. You're going to love them and kiss them and hug them and everything. But it's something about timing, as in, like, they wish they had more of your time. But it's because you're going to be so busy, okay? And if you pick this pile thinking, no, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, I want to be a stay-at-home dad, then pick another pile, because I'm not getting this, because I'm busy, okay? So it's like, you're going to be booked and busy. I'm not going to lie. Parenthood may be very challenging for you at times, because we have the Ace of Swords, okay? I see you finding it a little bit challenging here and there, but then again, parenting is challenging. Even if you have the most easiest going children, it's still going to be challenging, right? But I'm just thinking, I'm hearing carpool, like, on the go. Like, you could also feel a little bit of pressure money wise, thinking like, oh, I need to have enough so that my children can have this and can have that, and I need to make sure, like, not in a way where it's like you're hustling due to being broke, but it's just you want to give your children more, okay? Sorry guys, I was thirsty. It's like, not that like you're struggling, but you basically feel like, I could be here better. Like, I want to be somewhere better. I want to be able to own a house. I want to be able to, but if you are currently a parent, maybe that's what your priority lies most. It's like, I need to make sure I have enough money. I want to take my kids on holiday. I want to go this. I want to do this. But you're very busy, okay? Or if you're not a parent, you will be busy. It will be very challenging at times, but you'll be strong enough to shoulder all the responsibilities, because you always have the answer, okay? You always have the answer, okay? You always land on your feet. But parenthood, I'm not gonna lie, it has changed you, like, a lot. Or it will change you a lot. You won't even recognize who you were before. But it's not in a bad way. It's just in a way where you can't afford to be childish anymore. It's like, now you're like, okay, I gotta have this responsibility and this and children are relying on me. Your mindset will shift, okay? So just a gentle reminder, don't be hard on yourself, okay? Parenting is not easy. I know on social media it looks that way, but it's not. Even if you have easygoing children, it's not, okay? But don't be hard on yourself, because your children are really going to appreciate, my battery's running low. Okay, your children are really going to appreciate you, though. But they're just going to want more time with you. There's something about busyness, okay? I heard schedules. Is there anything else I'm getting? You're going to be very, very blunt, okay? Very truthful with your kids. Not in a way that hurts their feelings, but in a way where if they're like, should I do this? Should I do? You're going to be really direct with them. I feel like you're the type of parent that doesn't hide things from your kids. Like, you'll just be very honest about things, you know? And God forbid, but if you were to divorce, for example, or if you have divorced, like, you're not the type that would be like, oh, mommy and daddy, we're just no longer friends. Like, you're going to be like, no, well, you're not going to go into detail. Don't get it twisted. You're not going to let them know the nitty gritty of things, but you're just going to be like, well, sometimes in life, you know, relationships don't work out. And that's that, you know? Like, you're just going to leave it like that. You're not going to go in, but you're not going to lie to them either. If they want to know the truth about something when they're very older, or like when they're like an adult, for example, you're going to be honest with them. You're not going to lie to them because now they're an adult. So it's just like, well, this is what it is. I see you guys just being very blunt with your kids, okay? But in a loving way. They can take it, you can take it, you both can take it, okay? But they're going to know you love them. They're going to know that everything you do comes from love. Even if you don't have as much time, even if you have to multitask, they know that you love them. You know, they know their parent is just multi-talented, okay? Multi-intelligent, like they always have a lot going on as well. You're a hard worker, okay? And they appreciate that. They're just going to want more time with you, okay? So I'm getting you can fit it in, okay? But really easy on the go. A lot of energy. I don't know where the energy is going to come, but the energy is just going to come, okay? But you are their biggest cheerleader, okay? They're going to really, like, you're going to be the reason why your children have high self-esteem, okay? Because, you know, you believe in them, they believe in you, okay? But that's all I'm getting. I'm going to move on to the next part because my battery's running out. I didn't know it would run out. I thought I started at a good time, but I guess not, okay? Anyways. 2636, pile 3. Okay, what kind of parent will you be? We have wonder. May you see the whole picture. Okay. Ooh, I heard mirror. So I feel like your children are going to be a mirror towards you. Okay, you're going to be a parent that you're going to see yourself in your children. Okay, but let's see. You could be a very curious person. You're going to feel like, oh my God, like I don't know how this parenting thing works, but you're learning on the go. It's almost like you're growing with them. Okay. We have 55, thank God. So 5 is a number of change. So add 5 and 5 together, you get 10, which is completion, which rounds back to 1, which is all the beginning. Okay? Thank God. So you guys are going to be very, very grateful. Maybe I hate to be taboo, but maybe some of you have suffered miscarriages before or will suffer miscarriage at some point. But then you end up having children that you know, make it to the finish line and will be able to live and grow. And you're going to be really grateful for your children, okay? You're going to always remind them. This kind of reminds me low-key of my dad. I don't really talk to my dad, to be honest with you. I'm not really close with him. Like, no shade, but it is what it is. But one thing he said to me growing up is he always referred to me as a blessing. It's like, you are a blessing to G3, because our door number was G3, standing for ground 3, because I used to live in a flat. And it's like, you're a blessing to G3. I'm the youngest, so I get that treatment, right? And that reminds me of how you guys would be. Like, you always, like, uplift your children. Like, words of affirmation I'm hearing, okay? Oh my God, Power 1 and Power 2, I didn't even mention what sort of, like, love language they'll give to their kids. Power 2 was, like, words of affirmation as well. But Power 1 was more of, like, acts of service. Anyways. I didn't even mention it, but yeah. We have the dragonfly and the pansy, which is balance. It's giving Gemini. We have death card, giving Scorpio energy. We have fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, with the 7 of Wands. I'm hearing ringing in my ear. Don't know what that means. I keep forgetting the meaning. We have the root chakra, and then we have the jobs, finances. Okay. So what kind of parent are you going to be / what kind of parent are you now? Okay, you are someone you're the type of parent, you're going to be so grateful you're a parent. You're going to be like, I would do this all over again in a heartbeat. Like, you know, there's some parents in this world who they regret having their kids. I'm just going to be honest with you. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't know, but some people regret having kids, okay? And it's no offense to their children. It's just maybe they misinterpret how difficult parenting was going to be or how much of a change it would be for their own personal life. Okay, everyone has a different experience. But I feel like you guys are the type of people that you're going to be you're going to cherish it. You're like, I am so blessed to be your parent. You're going to tell your kids this, okay? Because we have, thank God, your kids are your biggest blessing. They could be the reason why, I don't know, like, not to sound morbid, but some people could really be depressed in this pile. Not everyone, a tiny percentage, maybe like 1% or 2% of you. And you could think life is kicking you in the arse at times, but then that restored hope comes from that child. It's almost like your child's going to be your biggest blessing, or your children's going to be your biggest blessing. I see you cherishing them so much, because we have death. So maybe you guys, I don't want to deliver bad messages, but for some of you could end up having a miscarriage, or you've had a miscarriage, but then you end up having children that make it to the finish line, and like, you're going to be so grateful. Because with this, I just have to bring it up because we had death literally, and I don't like talking about negative stuff, but sometimes it has to be mentioned, right? But there's something about you changing, like when you're being a parent. That reminds me of pile 2, I think. Yeah, like you guys are going to be very transformative. I feel like you won't stick with the same parenting style. Like I feel like you go into parenting being one way, and then it will just switch and change as they get older. Like in terms of like, okay, I'm going to be like this with this sibling now because I learned from this sibling, you know, depending on how many you have. You may just have one, okay? But it alternates. It's balanced, okay? Because we do have balance. So I feel like you're going to be a very fair parent. It's giving Libra. Like you're going to be very balanced with your kids, you know, like I feel like, say for example, let's take screen time. Like you're not going to make your children watch too much TV versus you're not going to make them be isolated from TV either. Like you're going to have a good balance. You're going to be well balanced between praise and discipline, but you're going to be so grateful for them, okay? They're going to be basically everything you've ever wanted, okay? Which is really cute, okay? You're going to be very, very curious about your children's life. And I know that sounds like such a cliche, because it's like, why wouldn't I be curious about my children? They're my children, right? I need to care about them. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes some parents, and this is not a bad thing because, you know, it's just life. Some parents don't know how to balance, okay, when it comes to their children and work. Some parents go to work and then they come home exhausted, and then they don't even have the time or the interest to listen to what their children have to say. And some parents are more focused on their relationship with the children's other parent as opposed to the children themselves. And again, I don't think it's intentional. Sometimes, you know, it could be, you can tend to focus more on one thing. Maybe some people are just not good at multitasking, right? But you are the type of parent that you're going to be so invested in your children's life. Okay, you're going to be like, I want to know everything about it. It's almost like you're meeting a new person. It's like you're interviewing them. Like, I want to get to know you. You're going to have a very good, intimate relationship with your children. But you're going to push them though. Okay, we have the 7 of Wands. Like, you're going to be like, listen, I know you can be great, and I'm going to help you be great. Okay, because we have jobs and root chakra. Like, you're a stable person in your children's life, as you should be. But it's like, you're going to... Some of you, I'm not gonna lie, some of you may even be in the future. Some of you guys may even have a lot of money, okay? Your kid, you may, if you're one of the lucky people that end up being rich and successful before you have children, I see you telling your children, you are not a Nepo baby. You're gonna work hard the way I worked hard too. You know, like, you're like, listen, you're not gonna just live off my money. Like, of course I'm your parent, I'm gonna spoil you, but you have to generate your own form of income as well. You're gonna have to make a name for yourself as well, because you ain't no Nepo baby, okay? Because I see you pushing them really hard, but not in a way where like they feel overwhelmed and they want to break down, but it's like you see potential, you see greatness. And I do see you trying to find out what they're good at so that you could push them more towards that. You're like, so say for example, let me use my kids for example. My youngest loves books, loves to read, okay? It loves to dance as well. They love to copy everything I do. The younger one is basically they look exactly like their dad, but they act just like me. The eldest, he's autistic, okay? Well, he's the only one diagnosed. I don't know if we're all autistic. Sometimes I think I am, but undiagnosed. But the eldest is autistic, right? But he's so good at gymnastics. He's really good. He's so like, oh, he could do flips, he could do splits, he could do anything, right? That's his forte. And it makes me want to push him more towards that, you know? But with my youngest, he's like very academic, but it's like I want to push him towards wherever his heart is calling him to, you know? You guys could be like that with your kids, okay? Whereby, what are you good at so I can push you further to it? You know, it's kind of like giving dance moms, but not like you're going to put them in a toxic environment, you know? Like, you're that type of parent that you're like, I want to see you thrive. So you're going to push them towards their dreams and goals. But I would not be surprised, pile 3, if you end up rich and you want your kids to also make a name for themselves. Of course, when they're an adult. But if you already have children, it could be the same message. Like, you could end up becoming rich and growing with your kids. And then you're going to be so grateful that you even had them. Maybe they were your motivation to really hustle and grind anyway. It kind of reminds me of Selena Gomez. Her mom was a teen mom at 16. So she put Selena into acting. And now, you know, Selena's rich. She's famous. She's talented. She's beautiful. And yeah, it's kind of giving that kind of energy. But not in a way that you guys are going to put your children in things young. I mean, you could, but I'm just getting more of like, you want to push your children to reach their highest potential. That's the energy I'm getting. But you're going to be so grateful for them, and they're going to know that. Okay, I do feel like, yeah, you're very fair. You're very like very disciplined, but also like very like loving. Okay, but you're all about your money. Okay, you got similar to part 2 a little bit, but you're going to be genuinely curious about your children. I feel like, again, no shade to some parents, but some parents don't really care like what their kids got going on. They're so oblivious. And that could be for many reasons. Maybe they're tired, maybe they're stressed, maybe they're going through their own things, right? And some people are single parents, and sometimes it's hard to juggle everything. But you're going to be the type of parent where you genuinely, like, you want to know about your children. Like, you genuinely find them interesting. You're like, you know what, you're pretty cool, you know, that kind of thing. And I feel like you're going to be a really fair person, okay? You're also going to be the type of parent that you change and grow and evolve with your children. So it's not just you raising them, like, you're going to change with them, you know? I don't know why, but I heard like, oh, I didn't hear this, but it's like a vision that just like came, like flash, of someone dyeing their hair, like a child dyeing their hair. And then the parents like, you know what? Screw it, I'm gonna dye my hair with you. Like, I'm getting that kind of vibe. Like, when you're a parent to them, like when they're young and you're old, like there's like a more extinguished barrier or boundary. But as you get older, it's like you got, like, as they get older and you get older, like I see you guys doing similar things. Like, if they get a tattoo, you get a tattoo, for example. Or if they dye their hair, you want to dye. It's like you guys are very like, I don't know why I heard compatible. It's not a dating thing, like, God forbid, but it's just like you guys are just, I heard perfect too. Like, you guys are just gonna like really gel. Okay, it's like there's mutual respect. That's what I'm getting. Like, you're gonna respect your children, they're gonna respect you back. Yeah. Some of your children are going to be really studious as well, because I heard library. So I do feel like you're going to really like love that about them. What else? Spirit, is there any other messages you want to deliver? What kind of parent will they be? I don't know. There's just something very like, this is very random, but you guys are really good at transmuting energy. So like, you could turn a negative into a positive. So I feel like you're going to instill that in your kids as well. This sounds similar to Pal 2 though. But yeah, it's going to be like I feel like when you become a new parent, like, it's going to be like a rebirth for you. Like, something about your whole character and who you are is going to be so different. Okay, this is very random. But if you are non-white, for example, I heard whitewashed. That's so random. Maybe other people in your family may criticize you for being, I don't know if this is even racist or just offensive, but they may call you whitewashed as a parent because you may decide that you don't hit your kids. Okay, that's very random. They might be like, oh my God, why are you being so gentle? Like, you could be the parent that doesn't hit your kids. Like, you don't put hands on them whatsoever. And people may say that that's whitewash, as a criticism. But it works well, because it's like the children are well loved and they're respected, and they're going to respect you back. Like, why would you even need to hit your child, you know? But that's a taboo, okay? Because I'm African and my dad, yeah, he hit us. That is not a good thing. But either way, luckily, we're fine. We grew up fine. Do I hit? No. But yeah, like I'm getting like someone saying you're whitewashed, as in like I'm getting as a family member that might say that like you I also had Pilates. You might put your kids in just different curriculums, but it's like they feel like your children may have a great upbringing, like very rich experience in different clubs, activities, and yeah, very good talents. But yeah, something about not hitting your children and you being criticized for that, I'm hearing. But yeah, you guys are on job. You guys are all about your business. You stand on business. So your kids are going to know you as the type of parent that when you say something, you mean it because you back it up. Okay. You don't mince your words. You're not the type of parent that people like your children can like get away with like, being naughty. Like you're the type of parent where you're like, listen, I said what I said. Okay. But there's still that respect there though. There's still that love there. But it's like, I said what I said. But you're going to really, everything you do comes with love. So you're going to really make beautiful and amazing, smart, intelligent people on this planet. You're going to integrate really good people into the society because of your parenting styles. Okay? I heard hustle and motivate. Your kids are going to see you as low-key their role model. They're going to actually idolize you in some sort of way. I think it's because of how you're a hustler. That's the energy I'm getting. But I'm going to move on because my battery's running low. 40-40, power 4. You guys chose shadow. May what is hidden come to light. Okay. I'm not going to lie. Trigger warning. This could be a pile that had a little bit of trauma with their upbringing, their childhood. Okay. You're going to learn a lot through your kids. With this shadow, you're going to learn a lot through your kids. And if you've gone through trauma, you may have... I don't know how to deliver this, but it's like you don't want your children to know about certain things because, they just shouldn't know, or you just feel like it's just, you don't want them to know. Even if they become adults, you don't want them to know. But they're going to know. They're going to discover something about you and they're going to sympathize with you or even empathize with you so much. They're going to feel like, I can't believe my parent went through that. But it's going to be healing for you as a parent. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting that energy. Like you're going to feel very regenerated and healed. You're going to heal your trauma through having children, if that makes sense. Because we have shadow, okay? You may try to be this kind of parent that shields their kids from certain things and you don't want them to know certain things, but they're going to know, okay? We have 29, say I'm sorry. 2 is a number of partnerships and 9 is a number of endings. Add them together as 11, which is a master number, but it rounds back to 2, okay? Trigger warning, some of you could be a single parent, either right now or at some point. I'm not trying to predict a divorce for you. Please don't take that message. Here's what I do. I don't like to take negative messages. I like to rebuke that. But I'm just saying that this could be someone's story. Okay, not everybody's. But yeah, I'm just getting a lot of trauma from this pile. I can't lie. Okay. We have the weasel and the pine, introspection. Okay. I'm hearing reflective as well. 3 of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have 4 of Cups, which is water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have children and we have no. Wow. Okay. You're going to be the type of parent that has like a lot of boundaries, like so many boundaries. You may not want your children to know a lot of things. You may hide a lot from them. Not in a way where like it's sneaky, but in a way where you're trying to protect them. From like basically you're trying to protect them from evil people in this world. Like for example, if your child's like, Mom, Dad, can I go sleep over at this person's house? Like you could be the type of parent that says no and you stand on business, but it's not that because you don't want them to have fun, but you get worried about like essay or bad things happen. You could be the type of parent that shields them from so much, maybe because you've gone through something traumatic. It doesn't have to be essay, it could be anything, but you could have had a traumatic past in your life. So now you're overly protective over your kids. I'm not gonna lie, for some of you could maybe be someone who maybe at some point you didn't want to have children and then you end up having children and then you end up realizing it's a blessing, but also very scary. You could be the type of parent that doesn't want to mess up. It's like you love your child or your children so much. I'm getting like for some of you could have multiple, but for some of you it could be one. But it's like I'm getting the energy that you guys really want to protect your children. Like you just don't want them to go through the same pain you've gone through, okay? Because we have introspection. I feel like you guys are the type of parent that you're not afraid to apologize to your child. You're not afraid to say I'm sorry, because we literally, you take accountability. You're going to be a type of parent that takes accountability. I'm not going to lie, you may lash out, or something may trigger you that kind of reminds you of your past, and you may lash out. I'm not saying that you're going to start beating your kids up, but I'm just saying, like, something may get you a little bit out of character, but you're not afraid to have that chat with your kids or your kid and say, hey, listen, I just want to say I'm sorry that, for example, I yelled at you, mommy just needed time to regulate their emotions, for example, things like that. But you're the type that takes accountability. I see you growing while you're parenting, like you're learning and unlearning things about your own life instead of repeating patterns. And when you catch yourself doing something that you went through, you're like, oh, I need to unlearn that, because I don't want my children to have this trauma that I've had, very introspective people. I see you moving forward. I feel like maybe at some point you may feel like, oh, I don't know. Like some of you could end up having children or not wanting children and wondering whether you should keep a child, but then you end up keeping the child and moving forward with it, okay? I'm not going to lie. You may come off as like a parent, unintentionally, of course, that has a lot of boundaries, as in like, you can't sleep over at that person's house, or I don't want you dressing that way, and it's not coming from a place of being strict. It's more like you're so worried about, it's not that you don't trust your children or your child. It's more to do with like, you are protecting them from the world instead of protecting something Drake said. Okay, Drake said, I'm not hiding my kid. Well, what did he say? I'm not hiding my kid. I'm hiding the world from my kid. Is that what he said? It's like, this is like a part that's gone through something like a lot. Maybe you have narcissistic parents, or you could have had a really rough upbringing, or something must have happened that made you very overly protective over your children. And I see you being so determined to not pass on any trauma to your children. So that's why you're going to be a little bit more cautious with like literally everything. And it may cause a bit of like rift, because your children may feel like, why am I not allowed to do this, or why this, or why that? And that may make you feel sad, because you may not want to explain, because it's like, you don't want your children to know things you've gone through, because you don't want to frighten them, or you just don't want them to know about your pain, like, not in a way where you don't want to be vulnerable with your kids, but you feel like, I don't know if they want to know about their mom going through this. Like, say for example, a very vivid example, but say for example, you've been R-worded before, or essayed before. It's not something you want to tell your kids, like, by the way, I've been essayed before. Like, you don't want to tell your kids that. So I see you being like a bit more like reserved and holding that back. But it's not coming from a place where like you're trying to be overly strict. It's not like coming from a place of, we follow this religion and therefore you can't do this, because if you do this, you're going to hell. It's not giving that. It's just more of like, you just love your children so much, and you just don't even want them to go through anything you've gone through. If you've grown up, it's even like, for example, if you've grown up broke, you don't want your children to suffer financially. It's like, you want to make sure you're financially stable before you have them. And if you already have children, it's like your whole world revolves around making sure that your children don't suffer the way you have. Okay. So yeah, there may be a little bit of disconnect here and there, but it's not intentional. Okay. I feel like your children may not understand at first, but then I think they end up discovering along the way, because maybe things they learn on social media about trauma, about avoidance, and attachment styles, and anxious, and and they start to realize, oh, pile 4, my parent, like, they've gone through this, and now I feel so bad. They were just trying to protect me, things like that, or if your child asks, why don't we ever see uncle whatever, or auntie this, or grandma this, or grandpa, why don't we ever see them? And then you have to say, like, listen, sometimes things just can't be explained, okay? Because mommy said so, or because daddy said so. And then it may make them frustrated, like, why don't you just tell me? And then as they get older, they may discover why. And they're like, oh, so Powerful was just trying to protect us. They weren't trying to just kill the fun, It's things like that, like, say for example, or you stop talking to a family member, and they're like, why don't we see that family member? You may not want to go into detail about why, but your children may feel a bit like they wish you were open about things, even if they're uncomfortable. So I feel like there are parts of things that you may learn from your children, and it's like you are growing together. Okay, something about your children being karmic towards you, not karmic as in toxic, but it's like you learn to heal through having them. They will be very understanding children, but they just will feel like, why is powerful treating us like we shouldn't know about these things? They may just be a little bit more on the old soul child kind of, like they may act older than their age because they may be emotionally intelligent, but you may be trying to protect them from things, but deep down they already know what you're protecting them from, or they have an inkling of what it could be, but they don't have any evidence to confirm it because you don't say it, you know. So I see you just being very protective, making sure things don't happen to them the way what has happened to you, you know. But yeah, I feel like you may feel like you don't want to give your children any pressure. Like you don't want, the reason why you may keep things a secret is because you don't want to worry them, you know. You will shoulder on the pain and smile with them, even if you're struggling deep down. Like if you were ever, God forbid, like if you're struggling with money, like you won't let your children know that. If you feel depressed or you feel sad or stressed, you won't let your children know that, you know. But then your children, they feel like if you act strong, a part of them feels like they're shut out. Like they want you to cry with them, they want to love you, they want to comfort you, but you may feel like it's not a child's job to shoulder my pain. For example, you may feel like, oh, I don't want them to know my pain, I want them to always see me as stable so that they can rely on me, but they may just want to love you and be there for you. Okay, I feel like you're going to have children that are very empathetic, they're very loving, and they want to be close to you. So it's a tough one, because sometimes children shouldn't know certain things, but these children are very wise. So I feel like they're like, no, I want to be there for you, powerful, you know. But they're very sweet, okay? Very, very loving. You're going to raise children that are very introspective and very intuitive, okay? But it may start off with you not even wanting kids at some point, but then something changes your mind, okay? But yeah, the boundaries would just be very clear, okay? I'm not getting like a best friend vibe with your kids. I'm getting like, it's very clear, like I'm parent, you're child. But there's still love there, you know? But I feel like this will change as things go. There'll be a lot of healing between you and your kids. There may be a lot of misunderstandings though, especially with I'm sorry. Like you may be trying to do things with good intentions, but then they may misread it at first as, why is our parent not as close to us? Why do they not want to tell us this? Why are they keeping this a secret from us? But then it's like you're just trying to protect them, you know? And they will understand it as they get older, okay? I'm hearing you don't understand. So I don't know if that's your future children saying you don't understand if you say no to them for something. Because I'm getting no, like it's telling them no a lot, you can't do this. But it's not coming from a place of being bossy. It's like, you know what's best for them, but you know how kids are. They feel like they know everything when they're young, you know? But that's the kind of energy I'm getting. I'm going to move on to pile 5, okay? 5222. Pile 5. You guys chose dream. May your imagination run free. Oh, you guys... Oh, that's so sweet. I feel like you guys are like going to be the type of parent that's like in touch with their inner child. Because we have dreams. So I feel like you're going to be everyone's ideal parent. Like you're going to be the cool parent. Like even your children's friends, if you're already a parent, like your children's friends wish that you were their parent. Don't tell their parent. But yeah, you're going to be the type of parent that everyone wishes they had. Okay. We have 25, fill the well. 2 is a number of partnerships. 5 is a number of change. Add them together, you get 7, which is all about learning. Okay, so you're going to be the kind of parent that's always evolving. We have fill the well, so you're very consistent with growing and commitment. You're going to be very committed to your children, and you are like, I know that's such a cliche. Like, why wouldn't you be committed to your children? What's the point of having them if you're not? But you'd be surprised. Some parents are just not about it. You know, they're just like, I just wanted an extension of myself. Oh God, now I have to actually put in the work. You'd be surprised. There's some parents like that. But you're very consistent to growing and evolving. But there's something about you growing with your children. If you're anything like me, like I had my kids quite young. I had my first child at 19 while I was at university. But don't worry, I finished my degree and I got my master's. But it was tough, okay? So something about growing with your children, evolving with your children, okay? We have the fox and the ivy. Adaptability is giving Gemini. Is this part for me? We have the 9 of Pentacles, which is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And we have the Ace of Cups, which is water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have pride. We have money. And we have pregnancy. Ooh, okay. So the kind of parent you're gonna be, okay, you're gonna be very persistent, okay? I feel like you're not gonna allow your children to ever give up. It's like if they want to do something and they're really passionate about something, you're gonna keep instilling it in them, like you've got this, okay? But you're also a very consistent person. Like you're someone who can be relied on, okay? You're very stable, okay? You're going to be someone who's very stable, very independent, okay? So some of you could be lone parents right now. You could be a single parent right now. And if you aren't, maybe in the future you may feel like even if you do have a partner, you may feel like you're the one that wears the pants in the marriage or the relationship, where like your children listen to you. It's like you can do this parenting thing with or without a person if you wanted to, right? Not to say that you're going to go through any divorces, God forbid. I'm just saying, you know. But you guys are very independent, okay? I feel like you guys are gonna have a lot of money, as in like you're gonna be really stable. Like you'll never have to worry about money, you know. That doesn't have to mean you're rich, but it's like money will never be a problem because you're very good at cultivating it. You know, we even have money here. So you guys could be well established before you had children. And if you do have the children right now or a child, you're on the road to becoming really, really well established, okay? Everything that you have, you built it on your own. You didn't marry rich. You could marry someone rich, but it's like you didn't become rich by marrying someone rich. Like I see this part, if you're rich one day, it's because of you. You got it all on your own, okay? I see you being the type of parent that's very loving, very nurturing, but you also know when to be like, okay, I'm the parent. But you are the ideal parent for a lot of people, okay? If you're a parent now, a lot of people wish you were their parent, okay? But if you're not, like this, you're gonna be everyone's like, oh man, I wish Pal 5 was my parent, okay? Very persistent, very hardworking, very adaptable, okay? So you're gonna be, again, is giving Aquarius vibes, like ahead of your time. Like you could be the type of parent where you can adapt to new changes. Like say for example, if your child is going through an emo phase. I know most of us have gone through that phase. I definitely went through that phase as a kid. And you're the type of parent where you're just like, you know what? Fine. You're in your emo phase, cool. Which outfit we're gonna shop for your spring dance, for example. Like you're very like adaptable. Like you may not be seen as the traditional parent, if that makes sense. Like you may not be like the type of parent that's like say for example your children ask you why, like you're not going to be the type of parent who like, because I said so. Like, you're going to be like, well, this is the reason why, it's because of XYZ, this and this, you know, catch my point. And then your kids will be like, oh, okay, I understand. Like you're going to be someone who is very like adaptable to whatever the times are, okay? You're not going to be like, I don't care, like this is tradition, it has to be this way. You guys are going to be very unorthodox, still respected, still a very clear role of being a parent, but like you're going to do parenting a little bit different to anybody else. So you could be the type of parent that you're strict, but you're kind, but you're still in touch with your inner child, okay? I'm getting like you're very different to your own parents, okay? You're ahead of your time, okay? You could be in the same generation as like, well, not same, but like not far generation. Like for example, like again, I'm going to use me as an example. I'm a Gen Z, but my kids are generation Alpha. So our age gap is between me and my eldest is only 19 years. So it's like, I feel like I'm growing too, you know? Like as in like, I'm in touch with my inner child. So you guys could be similar in that kind of way. Or you could be the type of parent that's like, if your child has a problem and you're like, oh my God, this is such a modern problem, but you'll know how to deal with it because like you're adaptable. Or if you came from a culture where maybe you guys are not really like affectionate physically, you're going to be that one parent that's like, you know what? I didn't grow up with my parents being affectionate towards me, because our culture just doesn't do that. But I'm going to be affectionate with my kids because that's what they want from me. That is their need from me. So I'm going to adapt. Kind of reminds me of my mom, I'm not going to lie. Like my mom comes from a culture where they don't kiss and hug and say, I love you. But she does that with me. And even my dad, like, again, they don't have that culture, but they do that with me. They will always kiss me and tell me I love you, that, you know, so they adapted that because as a kid, that's what I wanted. I'm a very affectionate person. When I'm comfortable with people, I love to hug. When I meet people, I'm like, give me a hug. And it may be a little bit uncomfortable for people who don't usually do that, but I respect people's boundaries. I'm like, okay, if you don't want to hug, that's fine. But I'm a hugger, you know, like I'm like that. So You guys could be like the type where maybe in your family or your siblings, you never hugged. You don't hug. It's a bit awkward to hug your siblings. But then with your kids, if that's what they need, you're going to hug them. Okay. You're like, I'm going to adapt to whatever my kid wants, and whatever works for my kid, I'm going to adapt to that. You know, you're that type of parent, but not in a way where your kids run shit. Like, you still run shit. Okay. Because you're still the parent, but it's like you're open-minded. Okay. So say, for example, if your kid was to, I don't know, say like, this is what I want to be when I grow up, and maybe it's not what you had in mind for them, I see you adapting it. You're like, okay, this is what you like, this is what you like. We're going to help you get to where you're meant to be. Okay. But there's something about you just having the funds. Like, your kids, it's not that they're spoiled, but money won't really be a problem for them. I'm not going to lie. Okay. Because you're very stable. Okay. You're going to be someone who's you take pride in who you are and how you parent, because we have pride. You guys could have Leo in your chart. You take pride in how you do things, and people are going to say you have the best behaved children. You have this and this and this. I wonder what the secret is, because you take pride in what you do. And the way you parent, it's not something that can even have a label, because it's so unique to you. And like, it's just, there's something about you just taking so much pride in what you do, and your children being your pride and your joy. Your children are not going to disappoint you. Let me just put it that way. I'm not saying they're perfect, but you're going to be really happy with how they turned out. Okay. But we have pregnancy. So I feel like this is talking about abundance. This is talking about growth. Okay. You're going to grow with your children. You're going to, like, even the love and the understanding is just going to grow. Like, you're going to, every single day, you're going to learn something new about, sorry, my ears are just itchy. I don't know what that means. I don't know why they're so itchy, but yeah, like, you're going to really grow with your kids. So again, you could also be like me, where you had your kids young and, oh no, my battery's running out. You could be like me, where you're growing with your kids. I'm not diagnosed with anything. I'm not diagnosed with autism or ADHD, but some people think I am, because I am in touch with my inner child, and my eldest son is on the spectrum and he does have ADHD. So some people may look at you and be like, you're a parent that looks very young. You're a parent that acts young. You're ahead of your time. You're very adaptable. But it's because you may just have high emotional intelligence. You just understand your children really well, and you understand society is always changing, evolving. So you're like, okay, let me adapt. Okay. You're going to be very adaptable with your kids, but yet still consistent. So you're just going to always be growing and elevating. You're going to be everybody's dream parent. Like, people are going to wish they had a parent like you. Okay. And I feel like even you're going to be proud of yourself. Like, you're going to look at yourself and be like, yeah, like, I'm proud to have my children. I've done the best that I can, and I can't beat myself up about it, you know, and they're going to really love you. Okay. But there's just something about having that infinite love, like infinite love, infinite care, infinite growth. Like, because I'm just picturing a ladder. Like, maybe you could end up becoming rich as you are becoming a parent, or you could be rich before you become a parent. But if you're already a parent, you could accumulate more finances as you're a parent. And then this is what's basically where the money is coming from and the pregnancy is coming from. There's going to be a lot of abundance. That's what I'm getting. But sorry, some of you could be, sorry, this is just itching me. It's annoying me. My earring came up. It's honestly annoying me. Yeah, sorry. You guys could have, like, I heard high alert, and I don't know why. You guys could just be really good at paying attention to detail when it comes to your kids. Like, whenever something's off, you just can tell. Nothing gets past you. I feel like your kids are going to find it hard to keep secrets from you, because you just always know. Very intuitive. You can read them like a book, because you're very clued up. Okay. But yeah, really well established. But yeah, I'm just getting adaptable, very quirky. You could even dress your children up in really nice clothes. And when I say nice, it doesn't have to mean designer. It just means like very good fashion sense. And you could also have good fashion sense yourself. So it's like, you know, yeah, something about appearances. So you're going to make sure that your kids don't leave the house looking crusty, okay? Your kids are going to be well-groomed, well-looked after, beautiful, handsome. There's something about you wanting to make sure that your children and you are seen in a good light. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe you guys have businesses or will have businesses in the future, and it's like you want to make sure that, you know, maybe, I don't know why. This is very random, but some of you, this won't resonate with everyone in the pile. Some of you may end up being like famous. I don't know why. because I heard celebrity status or just well known, well respected. So you're going to be very like careful about how your children are being presented. Okay. I heard material girl. So I don't know. You guys may have a lot of funds, okay, in the future. But yeah, you're gonna have a really good relationship. But I feel like this dynamic will always be shifting, changing. So there'll be days where it's like, okay, this is how I wanted to do things, and you're like, you know what, I've been enlightened. I've learned this new thing, and I think I want to do things differently. Like it's just you're very good at adapting to every situation. And adapting to your children. Like if your children say, I'm going through this phase, or this is what I want to do now, or I want to be this when I grow up, or like I see you actually just being very supportive towards them. You're like, okay, cool, we could do it like this, Or if they want you to meet their significant other, you're like, oh, okay, like you don't make it weird. You just go with the flow. You support them. It's almost like you're a best friend to them, but you're still a parent. Like you have that respect. They will never look at you. They will never swear in front of you or do anything disrespectful in front of you. But like, it's almost like they can tell you anything. They're not afraid to tell you anything. Sometimes a bit too much. Like they can't hide anything from you because you'll know. So they just end up just singing like a canary and just telling you everything. But you're very adaptable. It's because you have really inviting energy. Like they trust you and you trust them. Okay. Nothing gets by you. That's the kind of parent I'm getting. I'm going to move on because my battery's running out. Pals 6. 1 hour, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay. You guys got embraced. May you accept what comes. Ooh. It's giving detached, but in a good way. Embrace. I feel like you're going to be someone who's very loving, very open. Like say, for example, this may be a little bit of a taboo, but if your children, for example, were to come out and be like, hey, like I'm gay, for example. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying, for example, because I know some people may feel some type of way and I'm just trying to accommodate to everyone. You're just going to embrace them as they are, basically, no matter what. I could use a different example, because I know how people will react, okay? But you're going to embrace your child regardless of whatever stage they're at, you're just going to love them. You're not going to make your child to be a perfectionist. You're not going to say, you got to be this, you're going to be like, you know what? Try your best. I embrace you, okay? You're going to make them feel very loved, okay? We have Dare to Be Happy, 26. So 2 is the number of partnerships, 6 is the number of balance and reciprocity. Add them together, you get 8, which is abundance, okay? I'm just getting a vibe that you will be laughing a lot with your kids. Like, you are your kids' happy space, okay? We have the Cayman and Poppy, which is dreams. We have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. We have Earth energy with the 7 of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have Maybe, and we have Leave Me Alone reverse. Okay, so you know how some of the piles had like, oh, you're going to have really big boundaries between your kids. I'm not going to lie, pile 6, you may not have that many boundaries with your kids. As in, like, you will know everything about them. Like, everything. Like, there are no secrets. There's some things that, like, you may not even need to know, but, like, they just tell you. It kind of reminds me of a girl I went to school with. Like, she told... she bunked school. So, basically, she was trying to not go to school. And she called her mom and said, hey, mom, I bunked school. Like, why would you tell your parents that? That's something that you hide from your parents. But yeah, she was very open. Okay. Sorry, I need to remove these earrings. Like, there's something really itchy about my... Yeah. Yeah, your kids won't be able to hide anything from you because you have such an open energy. Like, it's giving heart chakra. It's giving Mother Teresa. It's giving... This is a safe space. So I'm getting like, if you have a daughter, for example, yeah, and she's like on the phone to you, like, okay, so mom, dad, like I have a huge crush on this person and oh my God, like I don't know how to talk to them. You're the type of person like that you're just like, why do my kids tell me everything? It's like, it's good, but it's like, I don't need to know every little thing, but then you find it cute and you're like, okay, all right, well, what's the person like then, But you embrace your children as they are. So even if they have like a weird, fun, quirky side, like you find it cute and endearing. Yeah, because we have Leave Me Alone in reverse. So I feel like It kind of reminds me of a TikTok family that I follow, and they follow me back. They're very sweet. It's like a Ghanaian American mom who's like a stepmom, but she calls her kids her kids. She doesn't call them stepkids because she loves them all, right? And her kids are like white American, and then she has her own with the husband who's like making their kids biracial, right? And basically, she has such a good relationship with all her kids to the point where it's almost like there's no boundaries. Like, not in a bad way. Like, their kids would tell her anything. They're so open, and it's so cute. Okay, and it's almost like I'm thinking of like when I go to the toilet, right? My youngest son follows me into the toilet, and it's like, I love you, but why are you following me? Mommy has to have her privacy as well. But I'm getting that your kids and you will have a very close bond. Um, Sometimes you may doubt, though. You may doubt that, am I being a good parent? But you are going to be a great parent because we have the maybe. Okay, so maybe you could be the type of parent that could be a little bit, don't take it the wrong way, where your parent, like your kids may beg you for certain things, like pretty, please, 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 and then they give you the puppy dog eye. You're like, okay, we can go and get this. Like, say for example, if you're going out and like they're like, Mom, Dad, can we have, I don't know, like if you walk past a pizza shop, for example, can we have pizza for dinner? And you're just like, no. And then they give you that cute little puppy dog eye. You're like, all right, let's get some pizza. Like it's giving that kind of energy. Like, you just love your children so much, but I'm just getting an energy of you really embracing them and loving them. Okay. With the Hierophant here though, they will really, really like consult on you in everything, because the Hierophant is like a spiritual leader, but your kids will literally like tell you everything. Like I don't feel like your kids will keep anything from you. They'll be so open with you. Okay, they will respect you as well though, so don't worry. Just because there's like a little bit of not that many boundaries, it doesn't mean that there won't be any respect. There'll be a lot of respect. Okay, but they will look at you like you were the book of knowledge. They feel like, I don't know, let's ask Pal 6, like they really do look up to you, okay? But yeah, I feel like you just embrace them as they are. I'm getting that you could be the type of parent that corrects their children in private, but maybe in public you'll defend them. Like maybe like if your kid does something, in the public you'll be like, don't you dare talk to my kid like that. I know my kid did this, but and what? Like, you may really defend your kids or your kid, but then behind closed doors, you're like, listen, I don't like how you did this thing today, And then they're like, sorry, like, because I feel like you care about like having your kids back. It's giving Taurus energy, and Taurus is all about loyalty and reputation, and and it's like, on the outside, you're like, yeah, I'm going to defend my kid. Like, say, for example, if a kid is bullying your kid, like, you're going to defend your kid. You're like, yeah, my kid had to stand up for themselves. Like, you may be like that type of parent, but then behind closed doors, you're like, listen, honey, you could have handled this a little bit better, okay? You have to regulate your emotions a lot better than that, okay? I know that kid, Ronnie, was coming up at you like that, but you really did not have to slap them across the face. Like, for example, it's a fake example. Like, say for example, if someone's being mean to your kid and your kid just straight up slaps the person. It kind of reminds me of that trailer. There's like a racist kind of trailer where like this kid says to this Chinese girl, the swing or the sliders is not allowed for ching chongs. Like, it was a really racist thing to say. And the girl is just like, she just punches him straight in the face. And you could be the type of parent that's like, yeah, my kid had to defend themselves, and what? But then when like everyone else is gone and you're alone and private with your kid, you're like, listen, honey, violence is not the answer. You did not have to do that. You never put your hands on someone. And then your kid is like, but you defended me in front of other people. They're like, yeah, because I didn't want to embarrass you, but come on now. We know better than to do this, You could be that kind of parent. But you're going to be very patient, very patient. I feel like you're going to invest so much time and energy and effort into your kids, and you just can't wait to see what they develop and grow into. You're going to have high aspirations for your children. We have dreams, okay? And you're going to see like how it manifests. So say, for example, this is just a fake example. If you have a daughter, you may want to put her into ballet classes or dance classes, and you want to see like if they actually become something in the future, like if they can monetize that, you know, and you just want to see if it pans out. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but it's like you just want to see how, like if you invest time and energy into one area, you want to see what they will take with that. I just see you being very patient with your children, very understanding, okay? But they're gonna really like look up to you, okay? They're gonna see you as someone who they can really like come to for anything, okay? But I just see a lot of laughter, okay? A lot of laughter with you and your kids. And you might be a very silly parent, like you're very goofy, and then your kids are gonna find you hilarious, okay? They're gonna find you really funny. But I see you just embracing them as they are, you know? And that's not to say that there is no discipline. You're gonna let them know, like, this is right, this is wrong. But at the same time, you allow your kid to make mistakes. Like, I see you being the type of parent where if you're cooking and your kid accidentally knocks down something in the kitchen, instead of yelling at them, you're like, you're only human. We will make mistakes. All right, let's clean it up. You know, you're like very understanding. You don't lash out at them, okay? Very loving, very sweet. Yeah. I don't know why I heard Turkey. That's very random. Some of you could be from Turkey. I don't know. You could end up going on holiday to Turkey. I don't know why I heard Turkey. Maybe it's referring to the food. I don't know. But there's just something about Turkey. Okay. Um, there's something about, I don't know why your children are coming through, but it's something about your kids like appearing one way but being a different way in terms of personality. So say for example, this is just an example. This is not what I'm getting intuitively. It's just an example. If your kid dresses in all black, so people may assume that they're depressed or they could be one of those rebel kids. But then as soon as they get to know your kids, they're like so sweet. They're so overjoyed. They're so friendly. I don't know why I got that message. Okay. Okay, my kid's complaining. So on that note, I'm gonna end the reading. But yeah, I feel like you don't feel insecure about your parenting. I feel like some of you may wonder, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I being a good parent? But you will, okay? Just have boundaries, okay? I know they want to tell you everything, but make it clear. But other than that, I just see you just having a lot of laughter, a lot of joy, okay? Your parenting is not something you have to worry about. It's just making sure that your kids understand boundaries, okay? But that's what I'm getting, okay? Let me know if that resonates. Take care. Bye.